Good evening, everyone. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur MS India organizing daily international webinar series. In this series, speakers are invited from India and abroad, and they are delivering their topic as per their interest and field of research and study. This webinar series accepts the topic related to education, law, environment, technology, and the finance also. So every topic is accepted here, and this series is running from last 5 years. Today, in this session, we have invited Vaishnawi Singh Madam, who is from Hazaribag, Jharkhand, India. Her topic is Art and Indian Society. We welcome you, ma'am, from my organization and all the participants, those who are joined here and joining here. This topic is new for all because Art and Indian Society, how she will explain this topic. So we will listen from her. We are eager to listen from her on this topic. So I welcome you, ma'am, and I request you, you can start your speech now. Thank you.
Well, am I audible to all of you? I wanted to check
Yes, ma'am.
first.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Good evening, all of you, honorable teachers and principal and participants. Well, on this global crisis, as we know that India and the world have been on urge of a global crisis. So, yes, my topic is very different, very unique, and this is the reason why I have chosen this topic. And when I start my topic later on, you will understand that why, along with this global crisis, my topic is also a big problem, a big issue for the future. So, moving forward, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Vaishnavi Singh. I'm from Jharkhand, Hazaribag, and for my I have two sides of my life, and my first half of my life, on which I am a teacher. I studied English literature. I have completed my bachelor's, my master's, and along with my BA degree on English literature. And currently, I'm a fresher teacher, a very fresh young teacher at this moment. This one is my first half of my life. Then comes the other half of my life, on which I am an artist, a professional one. I have no degrees on artist, but if you go through my LinkedIn page, where you can see my art, and I have this contribution on art since a long period of time. I can say it since I have born, I have doing some contributions on art field, and this is the reason that I have chosen this topic today, because as I am also a teacher, I know what is the crisis of art these days. And we all know that our country is known for rich Indian history, rich culture in art. We have Natya Shastra. We have our everything. We are the origin of art. But can you really imagine? This is the reason why I am here, because the topic is very unique. And when we said the topic is unique, which means art is already declined from our country. The origin of art, the definition of art is today become declined. So this is the reason I'm here, because throughout all this year, I am also a victim of this art, and this is the reason why it is needed to talk about this. Well, let me give you an example. In today's generation, in today's era of time, if you go to any school, any like a school, yes, a school, and choose a primary classes, go to the junior classes. If you go there, give a topic to draw a scenery. You just simply ask a student to draw a scenery, and what you will find, I was giving you an exact picture that what they will draw. They will draw two cone size mountains, one floating river, one floating trees, and out of nowhere there wasn't a hut. And that same picture you will find in every average student of the classroom. Why they are not drawing a picture of their mother? Why they are not uh, draw a tree outside their home, a village outside their home, a vegetable seller? Why they are not doing something which is their own creation? And that is the stage where we are killing the creativity of students from the very early stage. And this is the reason why art is declining on our society. You will hardly find any institute, any university who provides you a better future in the course of art. But we do have art as a curriculum subject on our study throughout our whole uh, student period. But why art is always looked as a declining process? Why it has no respect in the society now? When it is, there was a time when we have historically the most popular one who have created so many things, so many artificial things which help us now. The creation, the creativity is totally gone from the very early stage. Among all those students, there are hardly 5 or 4 students who will create something different, who will create a scenery what they have seen in reality. They will create something like related to pollution, related to global warming, related to women empowerment. They will do that. But as a teacher, what they will do? They will simply appreciate them, give them a certificate, and then cause them then focus on your studies as well. The more priority given to the studies like math, science, history, but never focuses on what is the talent of student. And this is the reason we have killing the uh, creativity from the very early stage. And that is the reason when they grow up they have no options left. They have never thought that these things could be become a future, this thing can become something from which India will regain our historical things. But India is more populated, more focuses on math, science, and this is the reason why our country facing racism and race system. They were all going on a race where everyone is doing either medical, either engineering, either preparing for government exam. And the lakh of number 10 lakh of people were applying for the same kind of government jobs or corporate jobs, and they're filled with it emotionless people. Well, now let's look after the structure of how our countries develop. Like you see the global crisis these days. What is happening in the background? It is a war situation. Definitely, people will not look after art thing or emotional thing. They were more indulged with the global economic system, global crisis, and this is exactly happened. As I said, I'm a literature student. English literature I have studied. So I have this idea what happened in their country as well, who was once known as for art. During the era of Queen Elizabeth, Shakespeare, we all know about him, the most popular writer, most popular artist of that era. One name I have came out from there. But later on, what happened after war? Economic decline, depressions were there in the ground, and later on, we have no other name like Shakespeare. Same thing happened in India as well. We have faced global crisis. We have faced independence after independence problem, and this is the reason we only know about M.F. Hussain. We have no lots of name from history. Rabindranath Tagore is here, M.F. Hussain we have, and there are more. But we have no present. At present, how many artists we know that is very popular? It is a global. It is why it has happened because the ground have already ignored it from the primary stage. And this is the reason that I am here because I am also a victim of this crisis. I myself let me give a little story about my own life. Well, it is important so that we can understand why the what is the psychological term of degradation of art from our society. When I was young, I was a kid. All I do is focusing on art because it looks very different from something that have been done by everyone. So I thought, let's continue that. When I was continuing that, all I heard from all over my life that yes, you are talented. Yes, you do better art. But along with that, I always heard that focus on maths, focus on science, focus on your career. Why nobody ever told me that you should give in priority to your art, become an artist? Nobody have ever given the suggestion regarding what you should do on art. What are the options of becoming an artist? What are the options of choosing art as a field? On system? What are the topics that you will find on fine arts? Because there are none of it. In India, you will hardly know any university which is popular for providing you fine arts course. There are number of topics on fine arts. You can choose restoration fine art. You can choose doing graphics. You can choose doing sculpturing. Everything are coming on fine arts. But why no one has ever tried to give me the suggestion that what I should do? But later on, what happened? I was a kid back then. I thought, let's give it a shot to our studies as well. I scored star card on my curriculum, and later on, the perspective were totally shifted. My respect in the school, in the home, were totally shifted. They were giving me more attention. They were telling me that I am very talented along with my studies. The moment they along have joined in my life, that was the like turning point for me, and this is the reason why I have chosen literature over art. And this is happened with almost every artist in our country. The moment, but when we this is the reason that I have started this, because we have never given any focus on this. What happened in other countries, when in a curriculum, in a classroom, when there is a counselor have been set it out, and they are more focused on the student who are interested in what field. But that counselor I have seen nowhere in Indian schools, especially in government school. We literally can't expect anything from government school regarding the development of students. And even on primary school, even on private school, the same thing happened. We have only one fine art teachers on our school. I have studied my metric things from DAV Public School, which is a well-known popular school in all over India, and it has only one fine art teacher. So this is the respect of artists in our country, and we expect them to become an extraordinary person. Then only you can take become an artist. So what happened in other countries? People uh, give focus on artists. They have residencies, they have universities, they have a proper company, proper firm who provides job for your future. They don't want you to become extraordinary, to become something which you whatever you like. But in our country, there are struggle for every sector, and most importantly, for art. And this is the reason, this is the very prime, from the very primary stage we started killing the creativity among students. All they were indulging on race, and they will take every measures to become something they never wanted to become. We have did nothing to infurish our art, and this is the reason why it is totally dead today. In our recent Lok Sabha bill, you have heard Sita Raman. You might have heard that she had presented a bill to build 100 plus universities of fine art. And when the bill comes now in 2026, it is confirmed that we are on crisis of artists in our society. There are no artists left. And just look at the situation now. We are on global crisis. It is war is happening, and the situation is turning out into artificial intelligence. We have AI. So, do you believe that in next 10 years there are any artists left on the ground who will focus on taking admissions on art universities? So before people will say that uh, art declined because of AI, but in India it is declined because of our Indian society. We have literally shifted the respect of becoming an artist. We have literally shifted the making it a problem of social issues, and this is the reason it's all happened. So the solution I myself don't know, because I'm still struggling to become something which is out of my own syllabus. And this is the reason I have got this opportunity to speak about it here. And it is totally important to give a structure. Otherwise, all we have left is AI scientists in our country, and the art will totally decline. So more discussion over art should be a prior factor, because later on the situation will be tensed. The situation will become very tense because the emotions were totally dissolved from our society. People will face depression. People will face social issues, and if there is no art in the society, all they have do is becoming an corporate structure. Creativity will be lost, and that is why in curriculum we have co-curriculum subject as a main thing, so that we can develop the creativity among students, and the student will are the future. Just imagine, there will be a artist who will once imagine to fly in the air, and this is the reason we have aeroplanes today. So if the creativity will not survive in the ground, what will happen to the future? Will we all are totally shifted or totally dependent on AI? Will it works? Or uh, always I think it is my personal view that artificial intelligence were also created by a human. So AI can never replace human creativity. It is a time to give more focus, get it on the way to revive our own thing. Art is always ours, and it is time to regain it. It is time to give attention on those 7 students of the class who have drawn the scenery which is not comparatively the average student scenery. It is time to stop comparing them with others. It is time to give every student and understand every student's talent according to their genre. Otherwise, the situation will tense, and one day it will come that art will totally decline from our society, and there will be no art left in anyone. Student will never choose art as a subject because it scored nothing. It has no future. So it is important that we have more seminars from all over the world. People will listen to it and indulge with this topic as well. I know science is important. I know economic and accounts and other subjects were important. But along with that, art is also important. There once a slang is very important. What is earth without an art? Just a piece of rock, and we don't want it. We don't want to live on rock. We need artists in our society to regain the emotions, the purity of our Indian culture. From this, I would like to close my speech here. I'm very new here, and I'm. This is a really important and very good thing that Sir has organized this kind of webinar series, and I have given chance to present myself. Thank you so much. That is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Vaishnavi Singh, madam. You have raised the right question because from ancient ages, India was rich in art and culture. The temples, the caves, like, and the paintings like Ajanta Ellora. So this structure, this art in doing study of art, and there is no respect to the person who is doing art or creating some artist. All are focusing on the technical education related to job and the orientations. You have rightly said. At the same time, nowadays, if we open our social media, the pictures, the videos, or anything what looks pleasant and very attractive to us, that was created and that is created by the artificial intelligence. So you have said that artificial intelligence nothing replace the person or human, but we have created artificial intelligence and it is now overcoming every human activities because people are sharing the pictures, people are sharing the arts created by AI, and to create such great art for a artist, it requires so many time, years, and also months also because for creating. But artificial intelligence is creating within seconds, so it's very easy to share and very easy to give prompt to that laptop. I like this type of picture, I like this type of creations, and it is creating very nicely, and they are accepting, people are accepting. So the original art is hidden and not respected or not shared by the persons. So there is no any appreciation. As you have said, the examples of Rabindranath Tagore, FM Hussain, all the great artists of the India, they were known about that creativity because they have created the such things, immortal things that we remaining. In the ancient ages, there was Raja Vishwakarma, who was Raja Ravi Verma, who was creating the painting, and every king was given respect to the artist. They may be from singing, they may be from artist, and that's why the creations have created in that age of artists. But nowadays we don't follow the format of the immortal things, but we are creating the things which are having life in seconds, not in minutes also. Once we see the picture of created by AI, within 1 second we delete it. We don't give so many importance to that, but because it is not the human creativity. But if you see the exhibitions of the artist, when we visit a city, if there is exhibition, and if we see the creation of the artist, they are working on a special theme and they are perfect in that theme, and they are creating so many immortal things in the life as an artist. But nowadays it's not happening. So you have said the correct one, and this webinar have initiated this topic in the first time because this webinar accept the topic like arts, education, all these things. But someone, what happening in the world with the artist, you have explained very perfectly, and we hope that as per your opinion and as per our need of the country, art should be promoted by the government and society also, so that they will get future and also they get respect, and the artist will be uh, art with art will be famous, and that will be remembered by our society. Thank you, ma'am. You dared to say few words on this topic, on this webinar, and I'm thankful to you because it was not a long duration to discuss the point. You have given perfect discussion within few minutes or few within a half hour, but it was very great for us because if you request to someone, they are denying their our invitation because they are not really interested to deliver the topic, not interested to deliver their thoughts on any topic. But you dared to do that. Being a youngest scientist, being a youngest teacher, you did this. So we are very proud of you, and hope your exertion or your efforts will came in true, and our society will give respect to the artist persons in future also. Thank you. And I request participants, if you want to discuss on this point with our speaker, you can discuss it. Feedback link is available in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback link. Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, please.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Betkar, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation you have made. And definitely, when we are talking about the art and artistic views, art is a media for expressing the emotion of the person. So let it may be a drawing, let it may be a canvas drawing, let it may be a poem, let it may be some designs what we are making on a clothes. So variety of art forms are there, and no doubt there are some art schools are also there which are really promoting them. I remember one of my patient used to come in a childhood, means maybe a story of 15, 20 years back. He used to come with a in my consulting, he used to come with a drawing of a motorbikes, and it was really amazing to see all those motor drawings. And it was art with him since his childhood. And then I told them that this boy will go with automobile engineering, and no doubt he has gone to the designing part of automobile. And his one simple design cost a good amount. So this is how we can grow our artistic view. Everyone is having the artistic aspects with us, so we have to identify that. That is one thing. Second thing is artistic. Yes, definitely there are various platforms where we can present our arts nowadays. The drawing galleries and nice pictures and nice the canvas sketch, they goes at a very high cost. So that is also there. About singing, yes, definitely we are having so many shows and realistic shows and local language shows, and where people are getting opportunity. I'm worried about that art which is there as a traditional art. So Rajasthani people were having traditional art. Jharkhand people are having some traditional art. In Maharashtra also we are having traditional art, and it was going from generation to generation. And no school teaches them. And mind you, everyone will learn. That is also not so. But here, the generation after generation, it was their earning from that particular work, and that is why they were behind it and they were learning it. It was a nowadays we are having a very different schools are there, and education system is there, and we are following that a particular education system, and it is mandatory for everyone to take admission in the school, and then college, and then again the same sequelae. And maybe we are finding out our career. And mind you, some people may be having art like this, great art with them, but they forget because of their busy schedules. So we are not giving a much time for that development of the art. So very wonderfully you have placed that. Yes, definitely at certain places I'm really worried that some art we may lost in the journey of life. We may lost that. So traditional art has to be given a great value. I think the government of India is doing well. I remember over here the Adivasi padas are there, and we are going with a bamboo, some artistic flower pot and wash, and the bags, and then we are giving them opportunity to present in some exhibitions. And in fact, some of them have reached to the abroad also. But that encouragement is really wonderful. That motivation will require, what you said correctly, that unless and until that motivation will not be there, this traditional artistic form will get lost. So what do you think about this traditional art, very important traditional art? I'm going to some drawing class and I learn something. I'm going to the singing classes. I'm learning the classical singing, or I'm some of the people may go for Kathaka and Bharatnatyam, and they will learn that. That is a different thing. That maybe some people are considering it as extracurricular activities. So what do you think about this traditional customs, traditional culture, traditional art, how we can preserve it? Thank you.
Very well said, sir. Thank you so much for the all the encouragement and the appreciations. As you have said, how we can preserve it. That this is the reason why these discussions were held, because more seminars were held, the more topics, more creativity, more suggestions will come. And according to me, I think every school, it should be like we have history as a subject. As a very important subject where we learn about everything, and this is the reason we know about the history of our countries. And so it is important to hold more classes of art in every schools, like not only the primary schools, not only the private schools. It is important to provide art teachers on government school as well, on ground level as well, and giving it more attention, not only just to draw some scenery, draw flower, draw leaf. No, not only that, not only still life, not only compositions, nature study, no, but along with that, it is important to encourage and motivate a student that we have these artists. I don't remember that my teacher has ever taught me about any artist from our country, because yes, I have completed my whole studies way long before, and that time also art is not very popular. We don't have phone, we don't have internet that much. So yeah, it is hard to find out and do more researches. But now it is important to hold a really important classes, giving it more importance, that we have artists in every field. So when you give importance and give more attentions to that particular subject, student will automatically gain their interest on that field. Even those who don't do art will get the interest on that topic and try to do something, try to create something different from others. So I think school plays really crucial role here. Principal plays very crucial role here to promote those things on school, not just as a curricular activity, but as a curriculum subject. Because of curricular activity tag, those subjects were looked as like it is not that important in our life. The important thing is math, science, history, but not that one. And this is the reason why India lost it. But back then, when we have our gurukuls in our history, it has a separate classroom. Those who have been more interested on art, more interested on creating something, they have given advantage and advanced system to flourish their art in the society. They have been given internship, they have provided other things. But it is happening gurukuls, they have given lessons over it. But now, do we remember that we ever had any internship in our school time? No, we don't. We never had it. All we have practical classes of physics, chemistry, and bio. But do we have any practical classes of art and their articultures? Do we have classes of making sculpture? Do we have any internships to get the extra knowledge about sculpturing thing? No, these things cost high prices. Obviously, it will cost you more payment, and parents will not invested their time on it because it is subjected to art, and this is the reason why we lost it. So it's important to provide more importance in the early age. If you give it importance in the early age, it will be remembered for a long period of time. So this is what I must think.
Yeah, definitely. The Taj Mahal and the drawing of Mona Lisa will, would not existed, if the artists were not there, and still they are appreciated, and people, they really wonder to see all these kind of things, right? So no doubt, art. What you are saying is very perfect. That it should be a part of curriculum, and it should not be optional subject. And or it may be, you can find out, the people can find out a special courses, bachelor courses for the arts, so they can go for those courses. And the government should motivate them, just like a sports and other activities. They are getting credentials in their academics, So if suppose someone is having a, some specialty, art specialty is there, he should go for, the government should give some kind of credential, because nowadays, the changes and others people, they learn, they easily accept the things with the credentials, right? What we are going to gain, right? Because this is how, I remember so many guitarists were there with me, and so many other people are there, but they play the things for the time being, and once they are in a job and they're getting a good package, they forget about this kind of things. But I think that is a more important, it is something personal also. If you want to take out your emotions, if you want to cool down yourself, right, you have to introspect yourself. I think art is the best form to present, right? So instead of chit chatting with someone, fruitless, the efforts will not have any impact. But that you are writing a poem or you are doing some drawing, so it is really wonderful. So art has to be cultivated nowadays. In our Maharashtra, there is a special place, Yaula, where the Paithani, the special saris are there, and they are really, handmade, and they are working so much in one sari, and it costs good amount, it start from 20,000 and above. So there is a scope for certain things, there is no scope for certain things. But what is objective of this today's seminar, what you have said correctly, that we are not creating that place for the art and the artistic forms, and especially the artist, we are not, getting that kind of respect, right? Maybe in the financial respect, or maybe other respect. So for this reason, what I feel, yes, definitely there should be some courses, and the students should be promoted for these activities. Out of 100, at least 30% people will start, following the art, and then slowly, that craze will come. And as nowadays everybody wants to become a doctor and engineer, right? Some, that stage will come where the artist will be valued. So just like, in a kings, that there were ratnas, 9 ratnas. So there were some kind of, this kind of artists were appreciated over there. So that appreciation, and, it is not only the, what we can say, support of the people, but the support of the government is very, very essential for this reason. And I think NAP and the maybe including all these aspects. And definitely, I'm not a part of some art, but I can say yes, definitely there must be some inclusion for this. And second thing, NAC and other aspects, they are demanding the artistic aspects. So with this, I will conclude. I really appreciate a wonderful question you have raised, and wonderful, presentation you have made. Precise, concise, but to the point. So I thanks for your presentation. Thank you, Dr. Betkar, sir.
One more thing, I would like to raise my hand. Yes, one thing I left to say about the AI thing. Like, let me give you an exact point. What AI do? AI take examples from our previous historic art all over this time and gives you the whatever you asked for it. So if there will be no historically art were presented in the ground, where did you think that AI will find it about and present you? So if one day the art, the values were downgraded from the ground reality, even AI can't help to create you another one. So it is important to analyze it, because AI is just like Google. You search, you find it out the answer. But if the answers were not available on the ground, where do you get the answers? So I think AI is good, but it is not more not more superior in compares to the human creativity. And art is a form how creativity generates, how creativity birth. So I think, like. AI is good to give you more opportunities, more ideas about your potential, but not AI is not a god. If there is nothing is available on the ground, on the society, there is no way that AI can ever help you. So that is all. Thank you so much for everyone for giving me full
Thank you,
support,
thank
and
you.
thank
What
you
I
so
feel,
much.
one more point I want to add. Nowadays, the artistic form is also changing. So just like a brush, we should have AI with us, right? The brush moves, the stroke moves as per my desire. So art is a skill, and no doubt AI is a mechanization. So it doesn't have that skillful mind behind, unless until human mind will not play a role. Graphics nowadays people are going with, and wonderful pictures and designs they are coming with. And mind you, this is also the human mind is there behind. It is not the AI is playing a role, not at all. It is just like a brush and canvas. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for discussing in detail and supporting to the view of our today's speaker, Vaishnavi Singh ma'am. If anyone want to discuss, they can discuss. Otherwise, we will conclude here. And thank you for accepting our invitation and explaining your topic, art and Indian society. Uh, so in future also you'll be here with a new topic. You can promote speakers from your contacts, and I'm thankful from organization, from all participants. I'm thankful to all participants, including Dr. Sanand Shukla, Sir, Priti Kumari Madam, and all those are present here. Thank you.